Bible Untold, Hidden Bible Stories.
Imagine a king so powerful that his very name made people tremble. A king whose wealth and luxury blinded him to danger. Surrounded by guards, indulgence, and arrogance, he believed no one could ever challenge him. Now, imagine a man, quiet, underestimated, seemingly ordinary, and left-handed. One man who would change history through courage, cleverness, and a daring plan. This is the story of Ehud and Eglon, one of the Bible's most suspenseful and fascinating tales, a story of strategy, bravery, and the extraordinary arising from the ordinary. By the end of this story, you may realize that sometimes the most unlikely people achieve the most remarkable things. Let's step back thousands of years to a time when fear ruled, hope flickered faintly, and one man's courage would ignite a revolution. For 18 long years, the Israelites lived under the shadow of Moabite rule. Taxes were crushing, farmers struggled to keep their lands, families whispered prayers at night, fearing the soldiers who patrolled their villages. The Moabites, skilled in battle and proud of their gods, ruled with fear. King Eglon was enormous, confident, indulgent, a man whose very presence seemed larger than life. His palaces gleamed with gold, and his feasts overflowed with delicacies, while the Israelites endured hardship and despair. Every corner of Israel felt the weight of oppression. Villagers hid from soldiers, merchants traded in whispers, and children grew up knowing fear as a constant companion. Even Israel's leaders were paralyzed. Uprisings had been crushed. Hope had almost disappeared. Yet, in these desperate times, God chose a hero, a man named Ehud, whose left-handedness, once considered odd, would become the key to Israel's liberation. Ehud was not merely a warrior. He was a judge, a leader trained to guide his people and make difficult decisions. His left-handedness made him stand out, often drawing whispers or doubt, but he knew it was a secret advantage. He had grown up observing injustice, learning patience, strategy, and faith. Courage, he understood, was not absence of fear, it was acting despite it. As he prepared for his mission, Ehud reflected on the stakes. One wrong move could bring disaster. One hesitation could crush hope forever. Yet he could not ignore the suffering of his people. He reminded himself that sometimes the smallest difference can make the biggest impact. Every night he prayed quietly, seeking guidance and courage. Every movement, every plan was measured. Ehud's bravery was quiet, deliberate, and rooted in wisdom, qualities that would allow him to confront a king who seemed untouchable. King Eglon ruled with unmatched arrogance. Guards patrolled palace halls, trained to expect right-handed attacks. Eglon reclined in opulent rooms, confident that no Israelite could ever threaten him. The Israelites had tried before. Small uprisings were crushed, spies were discovered and executed. Each failure strengthened Eglon's ego and weakened Israel's hope. Ehud realized that brute force would not succeed. He needed strategy, stealth, and the element of surprise. And above all, he needed to act where no one expected, straight into the king's private chamber. Ehud prepared carefully. He selected a double-edged dagger, deadly but small enough to conceal under his robe. The metal gleamed faintly in the torchlight, a silent promise of justice. He told the king he had a secret message, a pretext to enter the king's private chamber alone. Imagine Ehud walking through the palace, corridors long and echoing, guards shifting lazily, incense drifting through the air, tapestries brushing the walls. Every step was a risk. Every shadow could hide discovery. Inside the chamber, Eglon lounged comfortably, laughing, unaware of the danger before him. Ehud bowed politely, delivering his words with calm precision. Every second stretched like eternity. The dagger rested hidden, cold against his skin. In that moment, Ehud's mind was a whirlwind. Strike now? Wait for the perfect moment? Can I escape after? Courage and fear collided, but he focused. The fate of a nation hung on his next move. And then, swift and precise, Ehud struck. The dagger plunged into Eglon's belly. The king, caught completely off guard, slumped without resistance. Guards outside were oblivious. Silence filled the chamber, the stillness of history changing. Ehud acted quickly, shutting the doors and slipping past the guards. Every heartbeat echoed in his chest. He moved carefully but urgently. This was not vengeance, it was justice. Not glory, but liberation. The oppressive reign of 18 years had been pierced by courage, intelligence, and the unexpected advantage of a left-handed hero. Ehud ran through corridors and stairways, emerging into the cool night air. Word spread, the tyrant king was dead. The Israelites, long oppressed, dared to hope. Leaders rallied the people. Villagers left their hiding places. Together they rose against the Moabites. Confused and leaderless, the oppressors were scattered. What seemed impossible, the fall of a tyrant, had been accomplished, not by armies or brute strength, but by intelligence, courage, and a plan executed with precision. Imagine the joy and disbelief, a nation realizing freedom had returned, a people witnessing the power of one determined individual. Ehud teaches us that our uniqueness is power. His left-handedness became his greatest advantage. Courage is action despite fear. Ehud's ear didn't stop him, it guided him. True bravery is moving forward when others hesitate. Strategy and intelligence often triumph over brute force. Careful planning can achieve what force cannot. History often remembers kings, generals, and obvious heroes, but sometimes it's the quiet, clever, underestimated person who shapes nations.
And that's the end of the story about Ehud and Eglon. Wow, Eglon was really surprised.
But Ehud was so clever.
He certainly was. A great story.
Indeed. What's next? Think about your own life. What small overlooked trait might become the key to making a big difference?
That's a powerful question. Like being brave?
Exactly, like Ehud.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Ehud reminds us that extraordinary acts often come from ordinary people, those willing to act boldly and wisely when the world expects nothing from them.
Like us?
Exactly. Stories like Ehud and Eglon remind us that the Bible is full of hidden gems, tales of courage, cunning, and the extraordinary arising from the ordinary.
Wow, that's so cool.
Sometimes the smallest person, the quietest voice, or the overlooked talent can change the course of history. And if one left-handed man could do so for an oppressed people, imagine what you can do with the gifts you've been given. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, the most incredible stories are often the ones we've barely heard. Stay tuned for more engaging stories, The Bible Untold.